Good evening, all. I'm Jarvis Cocker. United lost 4-1 against Newcastle. It was a shocking defeat. No guts, no glory. I don't think the players performed particularly well, and we will go through it. We will have a therapy session with you guys, talk about it, go down to everything that happened in the game. We will show the tactical board. We have some live footage as always, and we will talk about the game. Bayındır, goalkeeper. We will analyze how Bayındır did in his first game. Young Harry Amas debut in the Premier League. I think it was really good, and we will go through it. So. Stay tuned, and Stu and I will be back after the intro. So see you in a sec. Yes, good evening all, and welcome to the Tactical Devils. Let me just bring in Stu here, and there you are, Stu.
Here I am.
How are you doing, my friend? You know,
Yeah,
feeling
all
bad?
right. Yeah, I'm okay. Look, I think Danny B's kind of summed it up. I expected a bit better, actually. Hugely disappointing results. You don't want to be going into a second leg of a European Cup quarter-final on the back of a 4-1 loss. Yeah, you could argue that he made changes, which was great. In touch of bringing is lovely to see young Harry Amas get a start. I thought he did very, very well. There was points in the game where he experienced levels of under 18s, under 23s, and Premier League football. But otherwise, I thought he acquitted himself really, really well. But we come back to it, and I think we've got to be careful, Jarvis. We don't keep going over old ground. But it's a bit of a problem because they're leaving us with no choice but to go over old ground again, and that is, as good as Newcastle have been this season, as poor as we have been this season, you cannot legislate and you cannot allow for a lack of work rate for a team to be 3-1 up and start hunting you down to try and get the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th. Newcastle were relentless and were really going for us. They were going to see if they could get humiliate us, and that really disturbs me as a human being, as a man, as a footballer. Just absolutely disturbs me that we allow this to happen.
Yeah.
Time and time again, we allow teams to steamroller us, to outrun us, to out-wrestle us. They play with more aggression than us. They play with more heart than us. They play with more steel than us. And, today was a great example. When you walk through the doors at halftime, one apiece, the way that we've been playing and the way that they've been playing, you've got something you could grasp. And I don't kind of understand why we didn't grasp it. We should have been in a situation where we don't concede these poor goals. The second goal, we'll go through, obviously. All goals, apart from the first. I thought the first was a well-crafted goal. Like ours, our goal was well-crafted. But second, third and fourth were just basic mistakes that really we shouldn't be making as footballers.
Yeah.
Again, I keep looking. You hear Amas in the team. You think, brilliant. That's great. That's positive. And then you can't put Amas alongside Lindelöf. You can't allow that because you've got Amas, Yoro, Lindelöf, Mazzari, Dalot. Okay, Dalot, Mazzari, Euro, yes, Lindelöf is a weak link for us. I can't believe he's been with us 10 years now, 11 years. I think he's testimonial. I just can't get my fucking head
Yeah.
around it. I'm
We always
struggling.
do this. We always do this too. We
Yeah,
keep
struggling.
the players around for too long, not
Yeah,
performing.
and this is the problem. And when you've got somebody like Dan Burn, who, let's be honest, Jarvis and Devilish Tacticos, I'm not being harsh here, he's got very, very little about him except he battles and he makes life difficult for attackers. He makes life difficult for defenders in the opposite box. Whereas Lindelöf is just woefully out of position, always on the 360 because he's never right-sided where we need to be.
Yeah.
Was playing Lindelöf and Bayındır the right move today? Absolutely not. Was playing Bayındır the right move today? Probably. I know that sounds a bit daft, Jarvis, but why? You need somebody with Bayındır not coming in for 8 weeks or whatever. You need somebody of real strength in front of you, that can guide you as well as guide everyone else in and around them. Agate's something's not right with him at the moment. We miss Casemiro desperately. Yeah. Who'd have thought we would be saying that at the beginning of the season? We miss Casemiro desperately because he had the calmness to it. Zirkzee, I thought I love watching his feet. His feet are just magical to watch. His lovely run when he did his hamstring, won the ball, was aggressive up there. And then you've got Bruno kind of playing the left of the three, so to speak. You've got Garnacho playing the right of the three. Again, Garnacho's goal was absolutely brilliant. But all in all, we're looking at a huge club dereliction when it comes to playing staff. There's player duty of care to the club and the fans, and they're just not delivering on that side. And I just get so annoyed, Jarvis, when I see opposition teams running around like fucking 8-year-olds, getting hold of the ball and doing something with it, actually making something happen. Fucking Tonali, pushing Bruno, harrowing Bruno. I'd love to. I know you can't, and I'm sorry, Devilish Tacticos. I'd love Bruno to fucking drop one on his fucking throat with an elbow. Just show me something that it matters, that you're not going to let some idiot footballer try and harass you off the pitch. And instead, he gets a bit of a high five up, Matsari. I don't want to see that anymore, Jarvis. I can't deal with that type of inadequacy when it comes to playing for Manchester United anymore. I want to see, Harvey Barnes. Why didn't somebody launch into a fucking tackle on him? How the fuck did he score his fucking goal? What is going on? Launch into a tackle. And then we still persist with this playing out from the back nonsense. To be fair, Jarvis, you got to back me up here now, mate. I've been talking about this 2 years, haven't I? Playing out from the back. Bollocks. I've been talking about it for years. It just doesn't work. We're not skilled enough to do it. I know
we're not. Yeah,
and I know you come back, and I get you come back. You're absolutely right. That's what he wants. I understand that. I do, but we're not right now. We're not skilled enough to do that. And poor Harry Hamas has been told to do that, and it's been ingrained in him, hasn't it? But he's got to be able to find his own path in matches. Now, you could tell with Newcastle that they played to a certain system, but they were allowed free-flowing ideas, free-flowing football. Yes, Barnes was stayed out on the left. I thought Isak was, I don't think he was any good today, actually. I thought he was one of the bad. I didn't think Joe Linton was brilliant today, but Tonali and Guimaraes were just, Jarvis, we couldn't even see them. They're that far ahead of us in terms of you see them. And
miles ahead.
Yeah, miles ahead. And it's just another disappointing day. So now I'm going to get, I can't get pissed because I've got to go and drive, but I would love to be getting pissed tonight, Jarvis, to kind of make it feel. So look, I'm just trying to give a balanced view as to what I saw, and I just
Yeah,
wise,
yeah, yeah.
wise. You know,
I think it's we just got to treat this show and tonight as a therapy session. I see
yeah,
people as Trevor Wade. I agree with this. It's almost as bad as the performance against Liverpool, the 7-0 defeat. And I agree. There's no passion. There's no will. There's no fighting power in this squad. I think they have given up in the league.
they've
They just
completely
show it.
given up.
They have
Yeah, they've
totally
completely
just
given up. Like
given up.
that. It's 1.5 wine gums, Trev. After one, I'm slightly off balance. Get another half down me, and that's it, pal. Poof. I feel over. It's all over. I'm finished. I've got nothing
Yeah,
left. I'm crawling. Help me! Help
I'm
me!
glad we have Trevor Wade here
Yeah,
cheering us up. And Jamie Wayne, we are
yeah.
finished. Writing is on the wall. He had enough. Yeah, mistake after mistake. So yeah, it is what it is. And bath time comes in and said that Stephen Hawking's on a unicycle would have contributed more than every player out there. Yeah, that's good analogy. Yeah. So, guys, press this link. Give us a retweet on Twitter. That would be nice. Wootinator coming in. Big up Wootinator
Big
comes
up,
in. Says
United.
15 likes.
I
And,
think
and up to
Neil's
the
got
women
there.
team. Yeah.
I think Neil. Well, they made it through
Final.
to the FA Cup final again, didn't they?
Yes.
Beat City 2-0.
Yes.
Away from home, by the way. I think it was at City, wasn't it? At the whatever their stadium's called, the Etihad Minor Mini Stadium. It was that. Neil says he stopped watching Man United a long time ago as well.
Yeah.
For a lifelong fan like Neil to have it up to here, and Neil's slightly older than me, so he's seen how bad it was. When Neil was coming up as a small boy, he would have seen how great it was and how bad it got. With the trajectory of it. I struggle to put into words just how embarrassing they are as a group of individuals and as a team. It's embarrassing. But one bright spot for me, I thought Harry Amas, I liked him.
We will come to that Harry Amos thing when he drove up on the left side, created that big
He's got to
chance.
pull his socks up though, and I mean his socks literally. Not he's got to pull his socks up. He's got to pull his literal socks up. He's going to get a broken leg if he doesn't. These stupid shin pads now. Yeah. What the fuck the Premier League's doing?
It's in fashion. It's in fashion.
It's in fashion. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Football shouldn't be fashion, though, should it?
No. Safety gear, shin pads. But I just want to say, Stu, I want to bring up the tactical board.
Yes.
We always do this. I can talk and tell you a little bit what I saw because today, there's not much to talk of from a tactical point of view. If you don't put in the effort, you can have all the tactics you want in the world, but it wouldn't help anyway. So. But as we see here, this is the teams. Newcastle with Pope. I think Burn and Shar had a good game today. Especially Tonali was really good.
Straight everyone else was. I thought he was better than Guimaraes, to be honest.
Yeah. But the thing is, when Newcastle were pressing us, or when we were pressing them, I think Zirkzee had a job to try to nullify Tonali, because when we defended, Zirkzee dropped down, so our attack was actually in a V shape like this.
Yes,
not as we are used to the other way around. So Zirkzee's job, but I don't think Zirkzee actually did a good job in actually taking out Tonali, so it didn't work. Another thing that I saw was how aggressive Burn and Shar were when Newcastle were pressing high. When they were up the pitch, we could see a lot of time when Garnacho dropped down, Burn followed him all the way up here.
He did.
He did. But it left a pocket behind Burn. So it was only, was it Livramento or Trippier? I don't remember. Who was defending, behind there. And Bruno tried a couple of times to just wander in this pocket, and we tried to hit the ball to Bruno, but it didn't work. I would say actually that, but I think that was Amarim's game plan.
Yeah, really good spot that
job in behind, because Newcastle had aggressive centre backs, so they left some big space behind. and the Zirkzee thing on Tonali. Besides that, there was nothing unusual with the tactics as far as I could see. I don't know if you saw anything else.
Let's go back to what you were saying. So that spot that you made about Dan Burn following Garnacho in was absolutely fine, and it didn't matter to Newcastle whether they had a big space because nobody was going to gallop into it. You haven't got the Garnacho pace. You mentioned in the green room that you thought Burn played particularly well today. Not a great footballer by any stretch of the imagination, but you don't have to be. You don't have to be an intelligent footballer when they're telling you where to push Garnacho back, and that's what he did. He pushed Garnacho back. So if you was to circle that whole half with where Bruno is and where Livramento is, you're never going to gallop and out sprint Livramento because your main threat for pace, Dan Burns waving at him, tugging his little shirt or whatever, and that was a nice piece of play from Newcastle. But this is where I get absolutely massively frustrated with our team. Where's the brains in Garnacho to not get hemmed in and pinned in by Burn? I'm not going to let you pen me in, mate. You've done it once. I know what you're going to do now. I'm not going to let you hem me in. Bruno, allow me to come back. And then Burn's got to follow him all the way back. And Garnacho outstrips Burn 10 times out of 10. Now, Livramento, we know, is quite quick. So Livramento, as you quite rightly said, had no issues because Bruno was never going to outpace him. It was never going to happen. And then you got Harvey Barnes, who was giving Mazzari all sorts of problems, second half in particular, with his pace. I think Dallow's tired. I think Mazzari, one of the Devilish Tacticos made a brilliant point earlier. That Mazzari is just tired. They're tired. These players are tired.
They are tired. You can see they're starting to get a burnout. It worries
he's got
me a little.
nothing, has he, Amarim, to be able to do this because, we've got Maino just coming back. I thought Mount, I don't think he had any influence on the game whatsoever, apart from he tracked and he pushed and he harried. Wasn't brilliant, but at least he tried to affect and stop. But once you allow Tonali, who I hate the bastard, by the way, once you allow Tonali that space. So Joe Linton, did you notice in the second half in particular, Joe Linton's involvement was a little bit hit and miss, but everything he did was aimed at cutting out the transition. And where possible, getting it into Tonali or Guimaraes, one or the other. He didn't play his normal game. And
actually, Bruno G and Tonali, they interchanged a lot of the time. You could see Tonali drive, but as soon as he did Bruno Guimaraes, he dropped down in the deeper role in the midfield. So
and then to be honest,
what I would like to see from our team, having players versatile enough that they can interchange and actually do a good job in certain situations. We don't have many specialist players who's not up to it. They don't
and
have.
then when you've got Jacob Murphy, again, I don't think he's a talented footballer by any stretch of imagination, but he's a hard-working footballer. Trippier, hard-working footballer. You get Isak will run the line, run the whole of the 18-yard box for fun. I just don't see how we were ever going to counter it. We did okay in the first half. They had a couple of chances, didn't they? I thought their goal was particularly good. I thought Bayındır played okay when he came out and collected the ball, or tried to collect the ball. On occasions, I thought he was good from that. But again, we're just prone to silly mistakes. But Harvey Barnes, once in the second half, once it opened up, the game, then Tonali, Guimaraes and Barnes in particular just absolutely took over.
Yeah, they did. I think they physically were much stronger than us. Obviously, we have players like Eriksen, Bruno, Garnacho, now very physical, strong, and we Joe Linton bullied us, and Burn bullied us, Sharp bullied us. They all, and I think I'm not sure if Amarim, because I think Amarim wants to go with better, more physical players. So I think in time, when he get his players right, as you've seen, we have brought in Heaven and Dorgu. They both, I would say, big players, strong players. So I think in the future it might be better, but right now I think we struggle, and we've seen this before. And it's not new, we always have at least 1 or 2 games like this through a full season. I don't know if you remember. Yes, last season we lost. Was it away against Crystal Palace? I was 4-0 or 4.
Something like that. Yeah, it was poor, wasn't it? We do tend to fold. Even under Fergie, we folded in some games. I mean, we've been up to Newcastle and got tanked 5-1, haven't we? Yeah. Everybody remembers the Albert lob, and he does that stupid turn, circle celebration. Tit. That type of thing. But but you're right, we do. But when we go under, we drown very, very quickly. We don't fight for breath. We just drown very, very quickly.
Look, not agreeing. They're not tired, but they look tired. For me, I think they look tired, and it's not about the full season. It takes taking a toll now. So
I understand
Dave's point, and I respect that, but I think the players look tired now. Another thing when it comes to the tactical side, I think Harry Almas defensively dropped a little bit too deep. He weren't aggressive enough.
Yeah, he was too deep. Yeah,
he was more of a fullback role defensively, not as a wing back. So,
I agree. I think he's more used to a standard conventional fullback is Harry Almas. But he'll learn. He's only 18, isn't he? He's only 18 years old. Like I say, I thought he had a mixed bag of a game. What did he play up to? 17 minutes, something like that. There were parts where I thought he was excellent. There were other parts where it was welcome to the Premier League. That's life. You've got to learn. You've got to take your knocks and get up. But he did get up, didn't he? He didn't cry.
But I like his attitude. I like his attitude. He's tough. Yeah. He's tough, Harry Almas.
He's a tough young lad. Yeah. No, I see a lot of.
Remember that episode with Char on the corner kick when they're standing there pushing, and he's standing his ground. I like it.
Yeah, but we didn't do that. I mean, we didn't do that enough to Char. We didn't do that enough to Burn. And when you're letting somebody bully you, you've got to take him out. You got to grab him by the waist and chuck him to the deck. You've got to let him know that you're equally up for that fight. Even if you give a free kick away, Jarvis, it doesn't matter. You've got to let your opposition know you're up for that fight. He's bigger than me. He's taller than me. So what? Doesn't mean he's stronger than you. Just because he's taller than you or bigger than you, you might be stronger than him. So I must admit, you're right about Amos. I thought Amos was, way too deep. Whereas Dallo was playing the more advanced role that he's been playing recently.
Yeah. So let's just go to the clips and see what we got. I think we tried to play football today, but we weren't up for the fight, and that's a big problem. We were too much like Eriksen was there. We was trying to a little bit pass and move, and we actually had one beautiful attack, and you all remember this one with Zirkzee and Bruno, one touch, 1-2s. So let's add it to the stage. So have a look. What do you think of this, Stu? So first of all, Eriksen and Bruno passed the ball. Yeah, it was okay. And in this instance, I think Newcastle is in good shape. Bruno finds a small pocket here, and him and Zirkzee played beautiful. One touch.
Oh, yeah, it was lovely, wasn't it? Yeah.
One touch and finish.
He let it roll across him quite nicely, didn't he? The interesting thing about Eriksen, which was quite funny, his little miscontrol gave him a little bit more space, which allowed him. But then, to be fair, Newcastle weren't bothered about Eriksen, so they allowed him to progress with the ball, and they really centered themselves around Bruno. Nice sort of turn by Zirkzee, and then it would have been a lovely goal if Zirkzee could have bent it around Pope's left.
It would have been a lovely goal. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And this pass, with his heel is just like, I don't know what it's called. It's just like dragging the pass.
Yeah, it's very good actually, because it gave Burn a massive problem. See, I was talking about players how they having to, turn back on themselves all the time. That's what happened to Burn there. If Zirkzee could have, and you couldn't do it, by the way, guys, but if he could have faked it somehow, Burn was on that way and he would have given himself a bit more space. But look, I thought he took it okay. I liked it to have gone to Pope's left rather than, I think it was central to Pope
Why
right.
doesn't he strike harder? You know, he's trying with the side of
Side
his foot.
foot,
He
he
should
tries to side
shoot.
foot it. Yeah, he tries to side
You
foot
have
it.
enough time here to make a real shot.
He got a bit of time if he could have. Yeah, he let it roll across his body quite nicely, but he didn't get the bend. He didn't get the body shape and the whip on it. But it was a nice piece to play between Bruno and Zirkzee. Absolutely.
Maybe he was dizzy after the spin.
Yeah.
Well, this is a nice attack. That was, I think, for me, I think that was one of the highlights of the game.
That was a lovely attack. Yeah. But Pope, he hit it straight at Pope, didn't he? Really. So Pope got kind of lucky there.
Yeah. So let's see what I have next. I think it's the technique is not working. Something is frozen. Do some comments, Stu, and I will try to figure this out.
Let's have a look, see what we've got. Let's have a look. Yeah, so Jamie Wayne comes up. Hi, Jamie, good to see you. Thursday, Anana will be back. Fuck my life. Mohammed Zaki's coming. Should we tweet to 3-3-4 defenders? 4 defenders format. Yeah. Sorry. Should we tweet to a 3-3-4 defenders, midfield 4 and attackers? Okay. I don't know about that. Jamie's back in. I've seen people at the park play better than this lot. Annie B. Amarim looks very angry in that interview. I would hope he was, and so he should be. Dave's back in with if performances like that continue. Amarim is not safe for next season. Hard to argue against that. The Vutinator, Amarim going nowhere no matter what happens this season.
It's true. He's not going anywhere this season, but next season, I think after 10-15 games, I think the pressure will be on.
I think it will be. Yeah, no, 100%. United Football Way says the most alarming for me is that we are just getting worse, and our players are playing worse than ever. Again, hard to disagree with that. Trev comes in. It's not even that Newcastle were outstanding. Again, I agree. I don't think they were. It's just that we were that bad. We contributed to our own terrible performance. Yeah, I totally agree. Just a few of the. Mr. Potus is in as well. Big ups, everybody. Another monumental collapse. Lindelöf shocking, and Eriksen completely finished as a footballer at this level.
Yeah.
I do blame Amarim as well because his tactics do not work with this lot. Again, I'd agree with that. We just don't work with this lot.
So this is a Newcastle goal. It's quite a long clip, so we have to stop halfway through and this is us trying to play out from the back, and you see immediately Newcastle is aggressive in the press. A lot of players up front, and you see here Lindelöf, it's Ugarte, you have Eriksen, Garnacho here. We struggle playing out. So first of all, there's a pass here between who is this? 25. That's
Ugarte and Lindelöf, isn't it?
Yeah, but he plays himself under pressure. I think he should just try.
That'd be Matsari, wouldn't it?
Brian Mastrowi and Bayındır out to Euro again. Like give ourselves some space because we are playing really in tight areas and we're not good enough to thread ourselves out in a play like this. So for me, I think we chose the wrong tactic away against Newcastle. And you see here Lindelöf under pressure, terrible. You can't do this right away. Look at this pass to Eriksen.
Yeah, I mean Eriksen was a little bit. If you take it back, Eriksen was a little bit slow anyway in the uptake because you see, is that Guimaraes is in front of him, isn't it? Is it Guimaraes?
I think it's Shar actually.
Was it Shar? Well, either way, he's got to get in front of him. He's got to take the ball directly in front of him. He's in the perfect position to step in front of him. At least then you can shield the ball. Lindelöf look, Lindelöf should never have had the ball off Ugarte there. Okay, let's be clear. It just should never have happened. But Lindelöf, because he's under pressure, is forced to play the forward pass rather than the left.
But there is space here for Lindelöf to drive into. His first touch is terrible, and this comes down to his abilities.
Yeah,
first touch is terrible. His pass is terrible.
It's terrible. But yet we allowed Joe Linton first and foremost to get in, and then Shah to get the tackle in or disrupt Ericsson, and we should know better than that. This is what I don't quite understand. You're dealing with supposedly professional footballers
all away like this. Yeah. It's like we're just folding.
Yeah, it's like I say. You're supposed to be dealing with professional footballers. You could even tell at the amateur level. You go down on a Sunday morning. If you're going for an ice cream and watch Sunday morning football, they've got a bit more about them, as Jamie Wayne said. And it's one of those, and it just isn't. It's just simple, basic football. But when Lindelöf is doing it or Ugarte is doing it, they must have their fucking eyes shut.
Yeah,
they must have their eyes closed. And allowing that to unfold the way that it does is just abysmal.
But you come into a game, you show no composure, you have no abilities. What are we doing? It's why? Can we put questions with Amarim's tactics, asking his players to do this when he knows how bad they are?
I think he could. I think that's kind of where I'm coming down now, because but you're letting players then dictate to you as the manager what you're supposed to be doing, and it should be the manager dictating to the players what you should be doing. As a player, yourself and all the devilish tacticos are all footballers, so they know themselves. When you step onto that pitch and the managers ask you to do, play a certain way, as long as you play within that zonal area we want you to play, it's up to you to control how you play that sector. He's only asking you to be in an area, to either stop transition or to force an attack. He's not telling you how to do that. He's just wanting you to be into that zone. So that, Jarvis, we talk about zone 14. Yeah, we'll just say you're at zone 18, or is it 18 on the left-hand side? Yeah, cool. Anyway, you're in that zone. Now, I know you're going to be there. So if I want to sweep a ball out to you, I know you're there. But I don't think these players know where anyone is on the other end of the pitch. So that's, like I say, guys, devilish tactics will play football, so we all know that you're responsible for your own performance and making sure that you're there in the vicinity that the gaffer wants you to be. That's all they can do. And if Amarim's telling them this, they either aren't listening, can't be bothered. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you tell me. Yeah. I'd love to get in the brain of Ugarte or whatever and try and understand what's up with them. What is the problem? What aren't you liking? Why are you chucking your toys out the pram over something just because you don't like it? You have to deal with it. The manager's got to have the final say in the end.
Yeah. We have Gamer TV in the house. Big up Gamer TV. I see a lot of people now.
It's Gamer TV. Oh, yeah.
So guys and girls, if you haven't, smash the like and give us a subscribe if you're new on the show. So I like this comment from where did it go? Yeah, that's one debate. Bad time. One debate that's going on at the moment is coaching circles. That rondos and small size game make players less effective at scanning for danger.
Absolutely.
And it looks like a perfect example.
Absolutely right. Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
I've talked about that before, but about time. It's great. Small-sided games like that is brilliant when you're developing. Between 8 and
it's about the amount of touches. So you get a lot of
8 and 14-year-olds. You start to develop. So it's all about your first touch, your control, your movement, and your passing. You develop that. A Premier League footballer should already, you shouldn't have to, relearn that, rethink that. You don't, you do that with young Phillips team, don't you? You talk about basics. Being able to look and scan here is really important. I don't think we even listen to see if somebody's coming up behind you. or we don't use our peripheral vision to notice somebody coming up on your side. Do we even speak on the pitch and say, Bruno, you've got 1 second before Guimaraes is on your back? Do we talk? Don't we talk? I don't know.
Joe Wade comes in and say, I cannot see any improvements in play and improvements in tactics. What has Amarim actually brought to this club as manager? To me, is very little, if any. So, yeah, I see a lot of people now starting to ask questions because we're not happy. But I would say, I think it's too soon to judge Amarim because we know the material of players he got, and we could have had Pep as manager, and I think the result will be the same, actually, because we are just weak. We don't have the abilities. So let's just play through this clip. So here again, you see, let me just go back one more second. Terrible ball over to Bruno from Ugarte, and we lose the ball. And at this moment, Bruno goes into the press. But look at young Harry Amos. He doesn't read the game or
he's not looking
fill the gap quick enough. He is too hesitates. He hesitates.
May I just make one point? And the observation is he's in perfect left back mode.
Yes, but he's a left
wing. Look at his body shape. What he's hoping for is I'm going to push him wide. His body shape is when he comes to me, I'm going to hang it wide, which is perfect left back in a standard 4 at the back. But it isn't, as you quite rightly point out, Jarvis.
But Bruno has already played his card. He's outplayed now.
Oh yeah, he's out the picture.
So now it's Harry Amos's job or Eriksen's job to fill this gap.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
because you can't leave a Newcastle player in this position with so much space.
Yeah, but when you're in left back mode, you won't. So he's backing up like
you can see on Bruno. He's running. He's pointing.
Yeah.
And now Harry Amos understands.
But it's too late by then because he's
Yeah. So the ball comes in. It's a beautiful pass here from Isaac.
It's a lovely goal. It's a lovely goal.
It's a good strike from Tonali.
It's a lovely goal, but it's again. Look, I thought Amos was great, and he's just doing it a standard left back. He took a left back position, left back stance, started to backtrack like a left back. Too late.
Yeah. And if you see here, Tonali's little feint, he runs towards the ball, stops, and turns in behind Lenny Yoro. So Lenny Yoro struggled a little bit to if you look at here.
Yeah, look, Yoro's actually not in a bad position there, and Yoro's got a problem there.
Yeah,
it's really well spotted because if you just play it back a little bit before he spins in as the ball comes in. Just watch Yoro's body position.
Yeah.
He turned nicely, didn't he? And he could have body checked Tonali, but because Tonali left it, that's his problem. And look where Lindelöf and Mazzara are miles off it. They're both miles off it. So, that's not, that was a problem. By the time Lindelöf gets out there, it's too late. It's a weak challenge anyway. I'd rather see Lindelöf go through him there, to be honest, and give away a spot kick. At least it showed something for me anyway.
Yeah, but it's not a spot kick. He could just taken him down, and
they're taking him down. Yeah. Well, sorry, I thought. Oh yeah, it would have been outside. Yeah, sorry, just get me out. But I felt for Yoro there because he had no chance. He had no chance. But you're right. The point of that is, unfortunately, it was all down to Amos backing off and staying in left back mode. It's like a Komodo dragon when they get into hungry mode. That's it. Bang, you're in trouble. And it's the same thing with Amos. His brain was telling him, "I'm a left back." Look, I don't blame the kids. I don't.
But I think it's a really interesting clip, this one, because there was so much going on. You had
that time agrees.
Trying to play.
I said you would try and block Tonali. I think he's right. Sorry. I heard this, by the way. Cunha going to potentially. I heard that potentially going to Arsenal. That's bad news. That is.
Yeah. So a lot of people tuning in 280 people watching on YouTube actually. So that's
Oh,
fantastic.
hell, Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
I've just noticed.
I think someone just came in and rated us. I don't know if it's Noradin. So guys, if you're coming from another channel, thank you for the raid. So yeah, that was the Newcastle goal. So we were 1-0 down, but we could see the tendencies right away. And after that goal, I think we still struggle with the same issues.
It's a Cass raid.
Now you.
Cheers, Cass.
Big up, Cass. Thank you, Cass.
Big up. Thank you for all that's tuned in, guys.
Yeah. So here you see again. Look how passive we are. Tonali receives the ball, and we just stand there. We just, no one is aggressive enough to go out and press. So for me, I think our defensive play, how we lacked aggressiveness. Look at this. Now, look how long Tonali is on the ball before someone comes out and go into pressure. Look at him. Yeah. Look at him. It's, Amarim can say what he wants. You can't defend like this.
No, and again, this is the issue, Jarvis. I refuse to believe Amarim is saying all stand in a line on the edge of the area and give Tonali 20, 25 yards. I refuse to believe. It's just our brain, our lack of brain. Lindelöf should be screaming at Agate, but as well as I do, Jarvis, Agate should have been where the ref is anyway.
Yeah.
We should have been. That's his position. That's where we should be, in the middle of the pitch, backwards and forwards, side to side. That's where we should be.
9-man ball watching. Yeah, big up Lord Rodney Trotter. I agree. I went
to see Only Fools and Horses yesterday. Good old Rodney Trotter. It was at the musical. Paul Whitehouse was in it. A British comedian. Really, really funny. If you get a chance to go and watch it, guys, I recommend it. Only Fools and Horses.
USZ tells you, smash the like.
Please,
and if you're new to the channel, subscribe. You're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers so we get fully monetized. So it will be great. We're just a newly started channel and we're trying to get into YouTube. So I don't know what you say about this. This so passive. Let's just go to the next clip.
But where's the while you're doing this, Jarvis and Devilish Tacticos, where's the leader in the back there? Communicating. Where's the leader? Where's the leader saying, what the F are we doing? Isak's miles offside for a start. You ain't got to worry about Isak. And if he does come in, he's going to come into a load of crowded bodies. So, it doesn't matter. Push out.
Yeah, 100%. And as I said earlier on the show, when we talked about the tactics of the game, let me just add the tactical board again. And look here, what we talked about, Burn, Garnacho down here, and there was a pocket here for us for Bruno and other players to run into. So the aggressiveness of the Newcastle centre backs was something that we tried to exploit, and we actually had one chance doing this. So if you look at this, here we are on the break. You see here Garnacho running down the wing, and we've seen this before. Garnacho going on the right, cut back to Bruno, an okay chance, and I think this is an Amarim attacking pattern we see a lot of the time. Amarim, Garnacho going down the wing and cut back to Bruno. But again, if you look at Zirkzee as the striker, look at him pointing at the ball.
Yeah,
I want him to be more aggressive and higher up the pitch here to stretch the Newcastle defenders. But because you see when Bruno receives the ball, they're already pushing Bruno.
There's a couple of things about that.
Needs to stretch them here.
Yeah, well, if I'm Garnacho, I'm pushing Dan Burn into that box. Look at his body shape. Burn is backing off. I'm pushing him into the box and I'm inviting the foul penalty all day long. Just, you're right about Burn's aggression, but look at him. He's got a problem there.
Mm-hmm.
He's got him turned. He's got him on the half turn there already.
Go here.
Yes, exactly. He's got him on the half turn. Hit the box.
Yeah.
Hit the box. Get away from him. Hit the box. Penalty all day fucking long because Burn, he's too big. He's too big not to. Garnacho's too small. It's a great matchup when you're running at pace. As a tall centre half and a more nimble attacker, it's a great matchup. And that you get your penalty 9 out of 10 times that you'll have a pen.
100%. Get some do some comments, Stu, and I will prepare the next.
Yeah, sorry guys. Work hard. Great to see you. Thank you ever so much. What do they do in training? Work hard. That's life's mystery. If anyone knows what they do in training, anyone's set a drone over it, I would love to know. We'd love some footage because that is life's mystery to me and every other Man United fan at the time. Broderick's in, big up everyone. Broderick was saying there's 170 watching on the stream on YouTube. Don't forget to like, absolutely. Let's have a look. Jonathan Littenberg is in. Good to see you. We're getting top class personnel under Ineos, right? Glazers out, Ineos out. No, I'm fucking pissed off. Yeah, well, you and everyone else, I think. Let's have a look. Dan Burn, he's too. Yeah, but that's the thing, you see. The good thing about that, Baftom, is that Burn will try and use his strength and he'll mistime it. He's not the best at timing tackles. Got to try it. You got to try it. I always remember very quickly, Jarvis, when Martial and Rashford were on fire, we hit the diagonal, hit the box, penalty. We were absolutely committing the fullbacks, and we were just getting penalties after penalties. So,
yeah. Stu, this is the clip I just want to show you. It's about the Bayındır saves because he has one poor first. I think he tries to stop the ball, and the second is a good save. So I don't know what to say about Bayındır's performance today. Are you happy about it, or did he impress you in any way?
I think it was a difficult one for him, really, going away to Newcastle. Not playing for 8 weeks. I can't remember the last time he played. I think it was about 8 weeks, 9 weeks, something like that. Coming back from an injury, I thought he was. I thought he was okay. I think we'd all agree he couldn't be any worse than Onana, could he? Let's be honest. So. You've just got to cut out these stupid mistakes. You know, the team.
Look at this. You know, you can't.
This was nice.
Into the danger area in front of the goal.
Yeah, I liked how we come to catch, Jarvis, on corners or in swingers.
Yeah,
I liked how we come to catch. But you know, you've got to cut this shit out. These players have got to cut these stupid mistakes out.
But it's a brilliant save here. He saved.
Isak thought he buried it, didn't he?
Yeah.
I was expecting Isak to have his shirt off at this point, feeling away.
Yeah.
You know. So.
But again, if you look at the defensive play, look at Masraoui is helpless. You know, on the overlap from Liverpool. It's so easy for Newcastle here. Dallo is totally out of position. Yeah.
But Joe Linton had dragged him out, hadn't they? Joe Linton had dragged him out. Joe Linton played a canny game today. For somebody who joined Newcastle as a striker. I try not to laugh there, but he joined as a striker. Danny Bees wasn't for the mistake. He did well. Yeah, totally agree. Alpha Eagle, of course, Bayındır will make mistakes, absolutely, especially if we keep playing him once every full moon. Plus, he's come back from injury. Totally agree, Alpha. I think you're on point.
Yeah, but how do you think Amarim should solve this situation right now? Do you think he should just
you've got to know your master to a keeper
the rest of the season and
know your master to a keeper, nail it to Bayındır, and that's it. You've got to know. You've got to walk in. Sorry, Onana. Bayındır is my number one for the rest of the season. That's it. The end. You can't dick about it now.
I don't know what the devilish tacticos the chat room says about this, but I personally, I agree with Amarim's done because he's I think Amarim has no choice, you know, because if he keep picking Onana, it's on him. So
he's got to make that choice. Yeah. He's got to make that choice. Although Mache, I hope I've not butchered your name, fella, has said Tom the Heat Eaton. Why? Well, he's on the bench today, wasn't he? So,
so do you think? Tom Heaton? No.
No.
It's
an option. The Leon match where we leave the net empty. Don't they do that in ice hockey? And they pull the keeper.
Maybe an extra attacker.
Yeah. Probably give us more of a chance of winning. No. That's a great one. Like that
good
one. Welcome, by the way. Welcome. Thanks for joining in and tuning in. Broderick says Bayındır is too cocky with a lot of his passing today. Yeah, I think so. Could have cost us more. We need to keep it simple. Absolutely. And one more from and they today's game summed up how the two clubs are run. One is concerned about winning, the other is a business. Absolutely, I think he's right there, pal.
Yeah. And Zed comes in and says, "Smash the like, smash the like." So
yes,
guys,
please.
girls, smash the like and subscribe to the channel. We mostly do tactical stuff. We do match reactions, breakdowns of whatever happening in Man United, and we have one weekly panel show every Monday night, 9 p.m. So it's nice if you would join the tactical devils.
Junior Davis, welcome, Junior. Good spot.
Yes.
Anyone noticed how our players kept sleeping? I did. I noticed that. Newcastle heavily watered the pitch. If you noticed at the beginning. We didn't. Yeah, a lot of the players weren't wearing the. You should have put on the old-fashioned 6 shooters today.
Yeah,
they would have given you a bit more grip.
By the way, I know this
is
welcome,
Junior.
Welcome. Stu, hold on. Show and tell.
Show and tell. He's doing something. I don't know. Ghostface has come in with actually.
Talking about shoes, I just bought this for Philip the other day.
F50s.
Yeah, because he wanted them. Because if you look here, it says, I don't know if you can see it. It says Messi.
Yes.
That's Messi. I want this.
Let me give you. If you show the stud pattern on that, just a very, very quick one. They are they're classed as multi-ground. Those are. So they're not specific for soft grounds or hard ground. They're multi-grounds. If you notice, they've got a bit of extra length on them for soft pitches, AstroTurf, and hard ground.
Yep.
So that's what they are.
Perfect, like in an all-round shoe for kids. But I like the shoes. I love them.
Yeah, they're very nice. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I did have hobnail boots. I'm a Genghis, and I'm not going to go into footy boots, but I'm a World Cup and a Copa Mundial bloke.
Yes, you are. You are indeed. You are. So this is a goal. Let's have a look. You see here. I think Ugarte's involvement in this goal was good. He haven't kept the ball. You see here, he wins the ball and holds on to it. This is what I would like to see: players actually having the courage to keep the ball under pressure.
Yes, this is the goal, isn't it?
Yes. So let me just slow it down, and here you see Dalot going inside when the Garnacho is wide. This is perfect. This is what I would like to see more of.
Yeah,
the wing back, as we've seen a couple of times before the international break. Masraoui doing this when he played the wing back, going in this area always and giving Garnacho plenty of space.
It was a well-crafted goal. This Dalot's pass was nice. Again,
there's no offside here.
No offside. It's Burn again, the weaker link. I think. Lovely little pass. Nobody's looking, all looking at Dalot, and no one's looking at Garnacho. By the time he gets it, it's a fantastic finish. But what I would like to point out quickly is that Shah or whoever it is? I think it's Shah. Shah tries to make an attempted block or tackle.
This is Shah.
He was willing to risk a penalty kick.
You never see that from our defenders.
That's what I'm saying. He was willing to risk a penalty kick. He could have got that wrong. I think Garnacho surprised him when he took the shot with his left foot. I think he was expecting a right-footed shot. That's the way he's come across. But he was willing to risk a penalty kick. And I'd just like to make that point, because we don't do that, Jarvis. We just don't do that.
So Burn, why did Burn go out there?
Oh, sorry, bath time. Sorry. I just wanted to actually, just briefly, I thought this was a brilliant comment. And he's right. Bournemouth did water the side of the pitch we were defending last season as well. When Kwambala scored, slipped and Solanke scored. It's very, very, very true. It's a really good spot, that. Really, really good spot. And it happens that it's always the side you're defending, they'll really water it hard on the odd occasion. They can't always get away with it, but they will do. Sometimes they send the subs onto the pitch and they spread out on the pitch. That's to prevent them from watering it because they can't spray players.
Yeah.
Tiny
move.
Very cunning move. Sorry, bath time. Jarvis is going to answer that for you now.
Yeah. I don't think he needed to go out there. He could just.
I don't think even Dan Burn knows what he's doing
line before you do something in an occasion like this.
Yeah, I don't think even Dan Burn knows what he's doing out there, John.
Yeah,
to be honest.
But it's a nice finish from Garnacho. I got to give it to Garnacho. He's been terrible finishing his shots, his strikes.
You only go one place, Jarvis. You can only put that one place. Fabulous goal. But I would like to again point out, where's our fucking centre forward? I know he's there. Don't get me wrong. I can see him in picture, but why is he not on a fucking penalty spot just in case Pope gets it and palms it out?
In this instance, right away when Garnacho receives the ball, he should sprint diagonal.
Yes.
Into the box.
Yes.
Look at him, he's just waiting. He's waiting for the cutback, 100%. He's just waiting for
He's looking for the cutback there.
Yeah.
Realised there was nobody there. Realised he was never going to get Zirkzee in. Had no choice but to shoot.
Yeah. But let's say if Pope made a save in this instance, this is where Zirkzee should have been.
Yeah.
On the rebound.
Yeah, look at Shaw. But I wouldn't say Shaw's fully in control there either.
No.
But anyway, we get the goal and it was a lovely finish. Great finish. Great to see. But that was it, Jarvis. That was fucking it for us.
Yeah. We didn't have anything else, and now after second half starts, that I don't know if we got to do anything about the second half. Is there anything to say?
Funny comments. I'll let you read that one out, Jarvis. Some great comments.
What's to say? Someone tried to blame the goal being conceded on the pitch being wet. I thought Jurgen Klopp was now doing football watch-alongs. Turns out it was just Goldbridge.
Just Goldbridge.
Brent.
Yeah, bath time. Just clearing up my thoughts on. He's talking about it. He was. Yeah, I understand the transition. Yeah, and the hiding. But I just want to see risk. Jarvis, just want to see risk. Be careful he misses it. Just
courage.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about young Harry Amas. I think
really impressive.
Involvement was brilliant from young Harry Amas. Let's just slow it down and we can have a look. So he receives the ball here. Zigzag in between. Lovely ball control.
Beautiful play
to attack. This is what I would like to see from our wingbacks.
Might have made with Memento a little bit. Nice balance, lovely balance, and speed as well at the same time. But look at his pass; he carries on running.
But I think he actually his first touch weren't perfect. I think it was a little bit long, and it caught Newcastle.
Sometimes it needs to be there, doesn't it? Yeah. Sometimes it needs to be on that occasion. Sometimes where you make that initial error, but it actually works out in your favour. And you know why? It's because players aren't expecting you to make that error, and it kind of it's brilliant. Actually, I was a nice piece of play. I think you're absolutely right. I'm not in trouble yet. Jarvis is good. I'm all right. I know I keep looking at me watch, but I'm not in trouble yet.
No. So you had the Garnacho thing. Tried the cutback. I don't know. You see Zirkzee again as the number 9, not where he should be. He's more of a number 10.
This is certainly an Amarim thing, isn't it? Where we're looking for the cutback rather than trying to penetrate the middle. I always like, and it's just me. I always like my striker in and around the penalty spot area, and that gives him enough yardage to be able to make a darting run front, near, or middle. That's where I like my striker.
Yeah. 648 subs, 55 likes. Thank you, Trevor.
Oh, thank you.
Good nature for bringing that up. And MUFC 14 comes in and say we got lucky in most of the games we won this season. We are getting relegated by 2028. Yeah. that's
Trevor, I've got some bad news. We got knocked out of the Cup semi-final yesterday. So I didn't score an own goal. We got beat 3-2 though. So it was a bit of a fluky. Actually, Jarvis, there's a fluky halfway line hit and hope. They just piss you off, don't they, when they go in? And he was literally, he just swung his fucking left peg at it. Lucky bastard. Anyway, that's enough about the mighty Tipton Town.
The mighty Tipton Town, yeah. So this 2-1 goal, Newcastle, Livramento driving up the wing. I can't play this. Oops, I shouldn't play this. It's too close. So yeah. So you see him driving past Dallow in this instance. Poor defending again from Dallow. I think
he took his arm. Took his arm, Jarvis. Took his shirt. Better to defend a free kick from that position than allow him to drive into the box and then risk a penalty. Just took his fucking arm.
And Livramento, he finds Murphy on the other side.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
But what do you think of Harry Amos's involvement here? Why does he slide down and block? He puts himself totally out of play.
Yeah, look, I think if he looks back on that, Jarvis, he wouldn't. But one thing he won't do, and I'm not going to have a go, I'm not going to eat his lunch over this. I'm sure he knows where Murphy is, but he doesn't look across to see exactly where he is. And if he had a quick glance or Bayındır had shouted, "You've got time," then he doesn't maybe do that. He doesn't. Can you see here? He just doesn't have a quick look. And I know he knows where he is. He just doesn't have that look. And I think it disorientates him a little bit.
If he looks over his shoulder. So let's play it from here.
Yeah. If he looks over his shoulder there, he'll understand he's got more time than what he's got.
Yeah. He's not looking over his shoulder. So he's not informed where where Murphy is.
So I could understand him going to ground there to try and get the block, but Murphy could see what was happening anyway. So if you when Amos starts his slide, Murphy's kind of got the knowledge where he's going to be. So I'll cut it back rather than go for a chip. Watch Murphy.
And also, Stu, have a look at the defenders ball watching again.
There you go. Look, even before Murphy's got the ball, Amos is already making Murphy's mind up for him. In fact, Murphy, if I'm going to be honest with you, really poor. Because watch there. Hold the ball. Stop the ball. You've got a fucking empty goal to go. Stop the ball. Put it onto your left peg. Pop it in the back of the net. Just stop the fucking ball. You know what's happening because it's happening directly in front of you.
And again, you have ball watching.
But I'm not quite sure. Is that Harry? What's his name? Yeah, he gets the goals. There's no calls. But I would have gone for the. I would have gone for goal myself personally.
Yeah. So
I forgot
that's
a play. Yeah, I forgot about that was a goal.
But there was one bright light today on the pitch, and for me, I think that was Josh Zirkzee on the ball. He's really good holding on to the ball and driving into attack, actually doing what Amarim wants,
Yeah, I was hugely impressed
with in the last third. I don't know if it's. Can he play for England, Murphy?
Do you know what? I don't know. I don't know actually. Good question. Yeah, I'm not sure on that one. Is this the where Zirkzee gets his hammy injury?
Yeah, and Cengiz Khan comes in and say Amos probably needs a loan or dipping in and out of the first team squad.
I would keep him. I would keep him in and around the first team squad.
Really very raw in his game.
I'd get him out. I'd play him on tour, Malaysia, and I'd play him on tour in America. I'd get him integrated into that first team squad. I like what I've seen today. Yeah. He'll learn stuff like that we've just spoken about. He'll learn.
Ghostface say, can anyone else see Amarim getting sick of this mess and deciding to leave on his own terms at the end of the season?
No, he'll stay. He'll want to see this through for sure.
Yeah. This is the play where Zirkzee gets injured, but I like what I saw. He drove with the ball, carrying the ball into the last third, and he has the courage to hold on to the ball and actually challenge the Newcastle players.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
But unfortunately for him, he stretched his hammy right there. And then he's done. There's no Zirkzee coming back.
Do you know the interesting thing in that? Fucking Garnacho gets in his way. And I noticed at the time Garnacho gets in his way. Garnacho has to stop, and Zirkzee's got an extra body to navigate.
Yeah.
You don't need that extra body as you're going. And Garnacho's not moving and trying to move players in and around him. Garnacho stops instead of carrying on and, helping him out with
Garnacho should do a diagonal run, drag the one Livramento at least out here.
Well, that, or I'd come back inside to Zirkzee's left and get my body in between Zirkzee and the Newcastle player there to give him some room. Yeah.
So this means we are down to Højlund as our only striker option at the moment. So what do? How will Amarim solve this? And we know we can't play Cheeto in the Europa League, so he's not in the squad. How does this affect us for the rest of the seasons too?
Oh well, it's a problem. We're not scoring goals, are we? We're not scoring enough goals. We didn't really create overly a lot tonight, so we're not scoring enough goals. I think Højlund needs help up there. Can't do it by himself. I think we've got to revert, and he won't do it. By the way, you've got to revert to 3-5-2. He won't do it.
Start Bruno. Yeah. Then I would actually play Bruno rather than Højlund.
Well, I would play two up. I would give Højlund somebody to work with. He won't do it, by the way, guys. I know he won't do it, but I think a 3-5-2 might work in our favour because it does mean putting Bruno up there. You can bring Maino in, Jarvis, which is what you want.
And Genghis Khan said, Jarvis, we need to pray for a miracle. Yes.
We do, but I'd love to see Thursday night Højlund come up and get himself a hat trick at Old Trafford. Go and be arrogant to the Stretford end. Told you I could do it, lads. Just have a bit of faith. But we all know that's not going to happen. He's not got that hunger. He's not got that desire, that will, that want to get in and score fucking goals. Yeah. He won't stick his head in when the boots are flying. Which is a famous old saying, by the way. You know why Nemanja Vidic and Jaap Stam and Stevie Bruce were fucking ugly? Because they were getting their fucking heads caved in game in, game out. And we don't do that. Our centres don't do it. So I would shore it up in the middle. I would go with a 3-5-2. I think Højlund needs a bit of help. And Bruno, by the way, would be my option to go with him.
Yeah. And Taya Simba comes in and say this is wild. If Rasmus gets injured, I guess it's Bruno in the false nine. So we don't have any other options.
We can't play.
What if Højlund gets injured? What are we going to do? How do we solve it? Do we have any other options? Could we play Maguire up front or Nasraoui, or I don't know? Do we have any wild takes?
You have got to. Well, if he gets injured, I think we're fucked. Yeah, basically, I don't know what we do. I suppose Cheeto would come in. He's not ready yet. He can't play in Europe. He can play for the rest of the season in the Premier League, but he's not ready. I don't think he is. I think we all know that. You're going to have to play. You've got to play A9. Now, look, Bruno isn't going to hold the ball up. We know that. We don't go looking for the ball, but I think Maino could be quite a nice conduit as the kind of tip of the diamond, so to speak, with Garnacho and Garnacho, with Agarte and Casemiro. He could be a nice conduit towards Bruno and towards Højlund. I think that's what we need. I think Højlund needs help up there. He's no good. I've never seen Casemiro play as a 9, but hey, look,
he could actually do it.
What you used to say he couldn't.
He's versatile. He has the basics, so I think he could actually do it. What he lacks is pace.
Yeah,
but I think he's strong. He has the fighter mentality. You know how he is in the box. He can actually be the guy who can play as a number 9. So yeah, that's a good shout. That time, I actually agree.
I wouldn't say no to it. I think we've got, but I think ultimately, if you play a solo or you play a single 9, you've got to be aggressive. You've got to be on the front foot, pushing the. Oh fuck! I mean, almost in trouble. Not quite.
Okay.
Well, so I am going to have to go in about 10 minutes. Yeah.
Let's just speed up. We have 2 goals left, so let's just do them. It's the Bayındır mistake, and yeah,
the Bayındır mistake. That was the 4th one, wasn't it?
That was the 4th. So yeah,
that was the Guimaraes one, wasn't it?
Give me 2 seconds. I will bring it up here. Thank you for being patient, guys. You know, it's not easy doing all of this live. I should just do 2 regular shows, recorded shows. It will be easier, but you know. So I think this is the 3-1 goal.
Slavi's got
possession. It's not a Bayındır mistake. We will get to that. It's Masraoui on the ball.
This is the Amarim mistake and the Harvey Barnes goal, isn't it? Look at this.
Is it Gallo or is it's Masraoui?
It's Amarim. Yeah. Barnes gave him a torrid time, second half.
And Eriksen, you see Eriksen as this is the biggest problem with Eriksen.
I'm going to upset you now. I'm going to upset you now, and I'm going to give Euro a tiny bit of critique here. He should have been over and smashing into Harvey Barnes.
But he has one player on the outside, though. So.
No, I don't. No, I agree. Sometimes you just got to risk it. You got to look, because Lindelöf's never going to, get him. You can see why I'm saying Euro just get in there and hit him.
Yeah.
Just do it. Just take him out.
Take him
Euro
out.
there. He's got the pace. He can go. He can do it. He was caught. I'll give Euro a lot of credit. I know he was on a yellow, but. Sometimes you can go down to 10 men, and no, actually, Man United can't go down to 10 men and play better, can they? But I agree. I know he was on a yellow, but I would have taken him out. He was stuck though. Can you see he was betwixt and between on what to do? You could tell why he was hesitant. Yeah. But look,
for me, it's up to Lindelöf, because I don't think Lindelöf is a very commanding central centre back. I think he needs to be more commanding and more secure when we play Harry Maguire. I know I said I prefer Lindelöf because his ball playing abilities, but he's proven for me today that he's not having anything of that. His ball playing abilities is shite to say.
But when do we come to it, Jarvis? And Ghostface has got a great point. When do we come to it, Jarvis, where you got Lindelöf and Eriksen chasing Harvey Barnes, who is 10 times quicker than both of them put together? It's just one of those. And Rob Tuff's got a point. I agree. You don't want Euro suspended, but if he times it right, if he times his tackle right, and I think he could have got across and timed his tackle right, but hey, it's just an opinion.
Stu, we need one more sub, then we will be on 650 subscribers. So please, if you haven't subscribed, do me a favor, subscribe and be number 650. That will be great. We are slowly but steadily going to.
Yes, please. 60 likes as well. We got 60 likes. We're creeping up to 700. We're still in YouTube jail.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah,
YouTube is not giving us any help, so it is what it is. I'm thankful Cass did us a favor and gave us the rate.
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, thank you. But look, I'm only suggesting that's what he should have done. We don't know whether he'd have got suspended or whether he'd have given away a penalty kick. I think he's very good at timing his tackles. Yoro, it's one of his major strengths, but it's just something that I'd have looked to have done.
Yeah. So the last clip, it's Bayındır. So guys, girls, brace yourself. to say about this? Maybe you can talk us through it, Stu.
I just don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. He's, there was a fake press by Isak, wasn't there? Because he wasn't really, he didn't really put too much pressure on Bayındır.
No.
But actually, Joe Linton's reaction said more about the Newcastle team today in that one piece of play than our entire. Look at him. Look at him. He all he tried to do was get it back into the danger area. Now, he would admit, I'm 100% guarantee he would admit it was a fluke. The direction of the header was a fluke. But he tried, didn't he?
He tried, and it's in the right place. So
he made an attempt to stop the transition, and he did. And so it's just it was abysmal, the whole thing.
But how do we assess the goalkeeper situation now? We are in trouble, when Bayındır comes in.
Yeah.
It was like kind of our last hope. We have been sitting here slating Onana game after game, and now Bayındır comes in and do something like this. It puts us in a terrible situation. And Amarim in a terrible situation. What to do on Thursday? Can we trust Bayındır going in against Lyon?
You've got to make that decision.
Or are we better off with Onana? Because that's
Amarim's made an issue. Amarim's problem is Onana's out the squad. As of today, he's out the squad, isn't he? Wasn't on the bench. He's not injured. He's taken him out the team. You've got to stick by your guns now. You've got to play Bayındır Thursday. You have to. You've just got to. So.
I'm in doubt. He didn't give me any confidence today, Bayındır. I like when he comes out, claims the crosses and stuff like that. I think it's really good. But his ball playing abilities on the ground is not good enough.
But
he's not commanding, so you see he creates a little bit of insecurity of back three. And
you go from one error-prone keeper to another error-prone keeper. What do you do? And Onana, the last three games has cost us goals. Bayındır has cost us a goal tonight. What do you do? A bolt against you on the ball. No thanks. What's Trev stitched me up, has he?
I will create a poll for you guys and
see what they think about Bayındır or Onana.
I want to know if create a poll. Let's see. Goalkeeper. Bayındır or Onana.
Well, you may as well stick Heaton in there as well. I wouldn't obviously play Heaton, but you may as well.
Yeah, okay.
He's our third choice, isn't he?
So, guys, girls, get your vote in. I want to know who do you want to start against Lyon?
Do you know how sad it will be? What if we, what if we're 1-0 up against Lyon with 3 minutes to go and fucking Onana or Bayındır chucks it in?
Yeah.
That's where we're at. That's the problem. The reality is
I don't trust any of them. That's my biggest issue. I don't trust any of them. So what are the chats saying?
So look,
never been such a lack of common sense. Yeah.
So Onana for Titanium. So look, when was the last time Heaton played? Yeah, exactly. Let's have a look. Onana, where's my game? For me, Bayındır. For Ente, Zimba. Amarim with your new keeper, yeah, absolutely. You'll have a Jack. Well, it's true. Yeah, Jack Butland's. One of those.
Yeah,
what's the poll?
The poll is saying 50% are going for
Really?
Bayındır. 28% goes for Onana and 22% goes for Heaton. So it's
that just goes to show the
difficult poll for let's say we get knocked out of the Europa League and the goalkeeper makes a mistake. As you said,
season's over, Jarvis. Season's over. We go out Thursday. The season is over. Our whole season hangs on Thursday, and then we'll probably end up playing Bilbao, won't we, in the semi? If Bilbao overcome Rangers. Although they didn't beat 10-man Rangers.
It was a draw in the first game. So, yeah, but they
Rangers
are
are
much better at home.
Yeah.
You know, playing on Ibrox is something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would you put in goal, Jarvis? Is the question. That's the question for you.
Maguire will probably be back centrally in the Lyon game.
So put Maguire in goal?
No, Maguire.
Can you
Maguire will be back.
Can you imagine him, Jarvis, diving with his hands behind his back because he uses his head to save everything? That big, massive melon. That'd be funny as fuck. There's a meme, isn't there, on just very, very quickly. It's the Scott Sterling meme on YouTube. In the I think the footballing goalkeeper where he takes everything in the face. Can you imagine that being slabby? That'd be fucking brilliant.
So yeah,
they did, Charlie. Yeah, I did watch some of that game the following day. So
I think most people will stick with Bayındır, and for me, I would actually go with Bayındır because Maguire is back. He's kind of the boss of the central midfield, so I think it will be better for Bayındır. I think it will help him confidence-wise, and I think Bayındır is a better goalkeeper going into penalties. So if the game goes to penalties, I think we're better off with Bayındır in goal, not Onana.
Yeah. Any ideas whether De Ligt is back? Do we know the extent of De Ligt's injury?
I don't think he's back. I don't think he's back.
He's not back. Okay.
No. He's injured, and let's see. What does it say? It's an
Mad Ice has got the best
injury. Late April.
Right, April. Okay. Mad Ice, we have to pick the least rubbish keeper. Which one would that be? I don't know. Dude,
I know you have to go. So let's just wrap it up. There's nothing much.
Sorry, guys. It's my fault.
Game.
My fault.
It's a terrible game. I hope you all feel better. We will be back Monday night, 9 p.m. on Jarvis's Corner as usual. Try to find something interesting to talk to and get some interesting guests in. Maybe I can invite Cass to come on.
Yes, Maguire in goal and up front for corners, absolutely.
Yeah.
The
and I entertain you and say if it goes to penalties.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Rob Tab.
The choices like going to Greg's. They only have the vegetarian option. Some great comments tonight. At least, hey, look. At least we've all got a sense of humour still.
Yeah. If Jockey Dofia comes in, then I'm waiting for the automatic turnaround to happen next season after 3 signings are made in the summer. Yeah, I think we all want that to happen, but I don't think it will automatically happen. So I'm skeptical. I think we are at least one more season away from starting to compete for top 4.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. And maybe even 2, Jarvis. Maybe even 2, mate.
Yeah. Well, you never know in football. Things can happen. We have a lot of young guys now, and they will be at least 1 year older next season. So yeah, we will see. And Smithy comes in, play Maguire up front. Yeah, it's almost like we should just
Slabby, get him up there. He could have scored twice against Forest.
He has no threat in behind. So playing a player like Maguire would be, not.
That's why. That's why you put 2 up. You put Maguire. And
if you put 2 up, you can play Maguire at one of the strikers. I agree.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not watching the Masters. Maybe I should.
You should. Yeah. What's your handicap in a minute?
Not. I ordered so much golf equipment now. I'm so
ready
for the season to start. So yeah.
Here we go. You a TaylorMade guy, or?
TaylorMade, no. Titleist.
I say TaylorMade because that's the only thing I know about golf.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I know. TaylorMade.
Thank you for trying.
It's an Adidas brand. So that's the only reason I know.
But by the way, did you see, Stu, that Ineos are bringing in one new guy, Formula 1 guy, into Man United now?
Oh, sorry, I missed that. No, who is that?
One of the better. He worked under Hamilton. He won the 7 times.
What's
So he's
his?
one
Do
of
you
the
know the
crews
guy's name?
of Hamilton. He's now in Man United. I think they brought him in like a mental
He's a
mental
mental
coach,
coach,
or
is he? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
like
Oh, right.
motivator coach, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be
So yeah,
interesting. No, I didn't hear that, but yeah, we do. We need something.
Chrisari Magwood, maybe that's him. Yeah.
Is that him? Is it? I don't know, guys. I have
Yeah.
to say.
We can talk about it tomorrow. So, guys,
Yes,
girls, if you haven't, smash the like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thank you for watching Tactical Devils. We will be back tomorrow night, 9
we
p.m.
will.
And it's good to see you guys again. And I wish you a happy Easter. I don't know. I'm off work
Next Sunday.
next
Next
week,
Sunday.
so
Yeah,
so
next week. Yeah.
I actually have a time to do a lot of shows now. So maybe I will be back even tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah. So smash that bell, and
Smash the
you will
like.
get
Yes, please.
notifications when we go live. So
Yeah.
big up Madhouse, Broderick, Trevor,
Big up,
Genghis
guys.
Khan, Ghostface for all the brilliant comments. Robert Zirkzee, Entai and Simba, Dave,
Trevor.
Trebleweight, Smithy,
Yarlam
Madhouse, all
Amin.
you legends, Ethiopia. Thank you for tuning in.
Yes.
See you on the next
Amy
one tomorrow
Wayne.
night, 9
Everybody.
p.m.
Yeah.
Have
Thank
a
you.
good one. Good night.